Shalom and welcome back to Israel with Aline. We are here next to the walls of the old city of Jerusalem because that's today's topic. We are going to get to know the walls, we're going to see some of the gates, and we're also going to learn about what it's like on top of the walls because we're going to walk on top of them. So, if you're ready, let's get started. We're going to start today's tour here at the Zion Gate, which we can see down here on the map. Now, why is this gate called the Zion Gate? Because when we go through it, we come directly to Mount Zion, one of the most important biblical sites here in Jerusalem. And that's why our walk will start here at the Zion Gate, and now we'll walk together toward the Jaffa Gate and the Tower of David. So, let's take this walk together. So here to our right we can see the walls of Jerusalem. They have a perimeter of 4 kilometers and on average are 12 meters high. And the width, guys, we can't see from here. We'll see it later when we're walking on top of them, but the width of the walls is on average 2.5 meters. Now, why does the city need a wall? Ancient cities like Jerusalem had walls for protection. Just Jerusalem in these last 4,000 years of history was attacked 52 times. And here on the wall, we see something a little different. These narrow little windows, they're called Harahe Yeri in Hebrew. And what are they? They're shooting windows. They're one of the old city's protection tactics. Because those inside the old city can use this spot to shoot outside, but for those out here outside the walls, it's really hard to hit anyone inside that narrow space, giving an advantage to the people inside the walls of Jerusalem. And let's take advantage of this walk to talk a little about the history of these walls and the city of Jerusalem as a whole. The city of Jerusalem has almost 4,000 years of history, and the walls were first built by the Jebusites 3,800 years ago. They were a people who lived here until David conquered the city, as it is written in the second book of Samuel. And in these almost 4,000 years of history, the city was attacked, conquered, and reconquered so many times, and that's why the walls were destroyed and rebuilt many times. The last reconstruction that we are seeing here was in the 16th century, done by the Sultan of the Ottoman Turkish Empire, who was called Sultan Süleyman the Magnificent. And that's why the walls we see here are around 500 years old, which for Jerusalem is relatively new, but there are older parts within them. For example, this brown part that we see here in the drawing represents the Ayyubid period, which means the 13th century. So this section that we see here pointed out on the wall is 700 years old. And the pink part that we see in the drawing is the oldest part, which are archaeological remains from the time of the first temple of Jerusalem. And we're talking about almost 3,000 years ago. And they were burial caves that were later incorporated into the wall. Guys, look at this amazing stone back here. Come with me. We can see that there are some letters on this stone because this stone was recycled. Originally, it was a plaque written by the 10th Legion Fretensis. 10 is the X. Who is this legion? This legion was the Roman legion that destroyed the temple in Jerusalem almost 2,000 years ago. And they made this plaque somewhere in Jerusalem. Centuries went by, and the Turkish Ottomans took this stone and used it in the construction of the wall. Isn't that cool? And now we're arriving at the Jaffa Gate area, and there are some amazing things here. Among them, the Tower of David, which was actually built by King Herod. Here in front of us we can see the Jaffa Gate, one of the 8 gates of the old city of Jerusalem. Today we're going to visit 4 of them. Out of the 8 gates, we use 7 in our daily lives. And there's one gate, the Golden Gate, which is sealed, and we've already seen it in another video. And here inside the walls we can buy some fresh bread before starting our tour, and we have to buy our tickets so we can go up on the walls. At this little place here, they sell it for 20 shekels, which is about 32 reais or $6. So everyone, let's start the climb. Here we start to get a completely different view of the old city of Jerusalem. We're walking right now exactly on top of the Jaffa Gate. But why is it called that? Because of this street. This street is also called Jaffa or Joppa, which is the name of a biblical city. Because from here, the road that connected Jerusalem to Joppa started. And that's why the gate and the street have that name too. Which, by the way, still connects to Jaffa to this day. The old city of Jerusalem is 1 square kilometer, and it is divided into 4 quarters. The Muslim quarter, the Christian quarter, the Armenian quarter, and the Jewish quarter. And the route we're going to take together now will be from the Jaffa Gate to the Damascus Gate, so we'll pass by almost the entire Christian quarter. Here on our right, we're passing by an olive tree. By the way, shalom to everyone with the last name Oliveira who is watching us. And we can see these tiny little olives. It's not the season yet, that's why they're still small. And even though the old city is so cramped for space, there's still a little bit of agriculture. We can see some mini orchards and a few fruit trees inside the old city. And one of the residents of the old city of Jerusalem is coming to say hi to us. We're seeing a little cat here, and when you come to Israel, you'll see cats all over the country. Why? Where did they come from? They're here thanks to the British. 100 years ago, England conquered Israel, and at that time there were a lot of rats here. So the British decided to release cats to reduce the rat population. The rats are no longer here nowadays, but the cats are still here. And as you can see, they are gentle, they are loved, and they are already part of the landscape of Israel today. And down here, we can see a sports court that belongs to this school, which is a Christian school. The old city of Jerusalem is not a museum, it is actually part of the city even today. 40,000 people, everyone, live in the old city of Jerusalem. That means there are small markets, schools, pharmacies, health clinics, and city hall offices. I mean, we have a city that works, a city full of life. Here we can also see a bit of the coexistence in the city, like we mentioned. This is the Christian quarter. But that dome to our right is part of a mosque. So we see Muslim places in the Christian quarter, just like we see Christian places in the Jewish quarter. So yes, there is a mix between them. And here through this gap in the wall, we can see this building with some bluish gray windows. And it was here that the story of the nuns' dentures happened. If you don't know what I'm talking about and haven't seen the video, I'll leave the link up here for you. And seeing the light rail passing by here also shows us the interesting mix of the old and the new here in Jerusalem. We're now passing over the new gate. We're going to see it now from the outside really quickly. And why is it called that? Because it was built last. It was opened in the walls of this gate only in the year 1889. I want to thank my dad who is doing this whole walk with me today. Say hi to him too. And it's a good time to mention, guys, this is a beautiful tour, but keep in mind that it's a tough one to do. There are walks, stairs going up and down. It's out in the sun, especially in the summer, which is hot. In the winter, it can rain. So yes, it's a tour you need to be physically prepared for. Even here we can see these holes in the wall. These are bullet marks. And they remind us how many wars Jerusalem has been through. As we mentioned, Jerusalem was attacked 52 times, and that's why we remember Psalm 51:18. Do good in your good pleasure to Zion. Build the walls of Jerusalem. Do good to Zion. According to your good will, build the walls. We see the Psalms themselves talking about the rebuilding of these walls. And that's why these walls are essential for Jerusalem in biblical times. And we can say even to this day, we are at one of the highest points in the old city of Jerusalem, and we have a beautiful view, which of course includes the Dome of the Rock. This dome made with more than 80 kilos of gold, built on the Temple Mount. This blue sign is a reminder that the old city of Jerusalem is a normal city. This is an advertisement for a dentist's office. Again, this is part of a normal city, and it also has dentists. And these are the stairs that lead to the Damascus Gate. The gate that we're actually standing on right now. And the name of this gate is because from here the road used to lead to the biblical city of Damascus, which today is in Syria. We came down from the walls, and now we're in the Arab market at the Damascus Gate. You can see that they sell everything here, and we can also see that life has returned to normal. So it's really nice to see people moving around here. But let's turn around and leave the walls. So now we're going to cross the Damascus Gate and see it from the outside. This gate, like most of the walls, is 500 years old. But if we look down here, we see an archaeological excavation, and here they found the remains of the original gate from the Roman period. Guys, you have no idea how hot I am right now, but I hope you enjoyed our walk on the walls of the old city of Jerusalem. I want to thank my dad, who's here with me, also celebrating Lini's birthday. Today, the day we're recording, is my birthday, guys. So thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like as a birthday present. Kisses, and see you next time.